everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. For those that are new here, my name is Monique. And yeah, like I said, it's been a while. The last video that I uploaded was back in April, I think. The reason why I've been away for such a long time is because a lot of things happened in my private life. Most of those things had to do with like medical reasons. Let's just say I wasn't in the condition to make videos, but I'm kind of back. I hope I'm kind of back. And to make these things a little bit more regular again, make these videos a little bit more regular again. So yeah, we're in the beginning of a new month, the end of October, beginning of November, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about all of my finished pages from May to July. In total, I have 24 pages colored. That's not a lot if you don't think about it, that we're talking about May, July, August, like 5 months of coloring. Yeah, 5 months of coloring. So that's not a lot, and that's because I didn't color that much in, especially like in the summer. So May, June, July, August, I didn't color that much, and again, that had something to do with my well-being, basically. So yeah, not that much pages, but still, you know, quite some. That's also the reason why I don't want to blabber too much, and just start showing you what I colored. So we start in May, and it is in chronological order. So yeah, so the first book that I colored in May was in Easy Fantasy by Joshua Dunbar, and this is such a fun book, but I only colored one page till now, you know, only one page. So, and that's this one, Gaia's Thorn, the Sword, very simple page. Just Ohuhu, alcohol markers, maybe a little bit of white gel pen over here, and that's it. I didn't use that much. And that's exactly the state of mind I was in back in May. I wasn't feeling great. When I don't feel great, I like to keep things very simple. I just want to, you know, slap some color on a piece of paper. And that's exactly what I did. So yeah, not that much I can tell you about this page. I do like this book though. Yeah. So that's the first one that I did. And you will notice a trend when it comes to May, because the next page is in Gummy and Pecky. And basically, we have the same story. And I did this page. This page. Yeah, exactly the same thing. You know, I colored this page with alcohol markers and maybe a little bit of white gel pen, and that's it, because I couldn't be bothered with putting more effort into it. And that's okay. Sometimes you just have those periods where you're just like, you know what, I really don't care, I just want to color, and that's it. And that's exactly what I was like, what it was like in May. So the next 3 pages that I'm going to show you in different books are going to be like this. So, but I do like, you know, the end results. I do like my clouds. I do like those. So that's Gummy and Pecky by Vivi Tinta. The next book, 50 Farmers Miniatures by Camelia Angelkova. I love her books. I absolutely adore her books. Now, let me see if I can find my page. Yes. So We have the same story, alcohol markers, and I do believe we have a little bit of glitter. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's very subtle. It's those sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir. Now they have a very nice glitter, I think, but it's also very subtle glitter, which I like. But yeah, again, a very simple page. I mean, I didn't even really like shade. Yeah, a little bit over here, the donkey, but still, I do like my color palette. I like, what do you guys call this? A kite, I believe. You guys call this a kite in English. So, yeah, I do like that. So, yeah, cute book. Um, then I did a page in Fadorable by Selena Fenich. Let me get the book a little bit better in frame. And I did Little Witchy. This one. I did this one. The exact same story. Alcohol markers. I did no shading whatsoever. I did use some metallic pens for stars. And on the book over here, so it comes a little bit shiny. And I used those sparkle pens, but in color, this time from Spectrum Noir. And like I said, I do see it like shiny, but I don't think that you guys can really see it on camera. Very subtle, but I like it. And I do love this color purple. Absolutely love this color purple. So, and again, almost no shading. I do believe I did a little bit of shading here. That's it. The downside of this page is that it yellowed my next page. And it's because of this orangey color. It's from the Ohuhu Kala series. And it stains absolutely terribly. So, yeah. It's like I really like the color. It's a very pretty color, but I do not like the fact that it's staining. But I don't really use these markers in anything else except Amazon books. So I'm not very precious about my Amazon books. So it doesn't really bother me that much. But still, it was a nasty surprise when I saw it the first time. So yeah, Fadorables by Selena Fenich. And then the last page I colored in May was also in a Camellia Angelkova book. 50 Spellbound with Unscenes to color. And I did this page. Exactly the same story. Alcohol markers, a little bit of sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir. And I'm trying to show you sparkle, but I don't think that the camera can see it. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that was May, and we're only on the 3rd of May, and the rest of May I did not color. And then June came, and I did not color because I did not have the energy for it. I did not, I was an absolute mess. But then came July, and in July I did start to color, and I started to color in Hannah Carlson Tales from the Forest, and I actually worked on a whip. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finish this whip all the way in the back, and I did this one, and I absolutely love what I did with the color combinations down here. I really love this color combination and with like the greens and the browns and all of that. I used my Prisma pencils for this page and some adding gold markers, for the gold and the shiny bits, and some silver. You can see some silver over here. Yeah, and I really like what I did with the page. The only thing I do not like are the leaves. I do not like the leaves, what I did with the leaves, but I do like what I did with the bottom. And even like the tree trunk and the circle, around it. I'm okay with it, but the leaves I do not like them. But yeah, so I slowly got back into coloring in the beginning. Well, actually, we were already halfway July when I started coloring again because I finished this one 18 July. So, but I slowly got back into coloring. And the next book was an untouched book that I colored in, and that's Cozy Europe, cute coloring book. Now, again, very simple coloring. Just alcohol markers. I can't even, oh yeah, I do have some white pen, some white gel pen on here. But that's it. I didn't use anything else. But I do like the color combination. I do like that. And that's also the reason why I buy these kind of books, so I can color like this. Very simple. I do like this book. It's cute. Yeah, Cozy Europe by Jade Summer. And then it's the last one of July. I finished another WIP, A Million Baby Animals, and this is a long-term WIP that I started a while ago, and I didn't want to finish, and it's this one. And that's because of the other. I colored this page with my Faber-Castell Pitt pens, and I bought at that time the new Pitt pens, those like thicker Pitt pens with like a brush nib and a very fine nib. And when I started coloring with it, I noticed that my dark brown was like intensely dark brown, and it left a very it's like this layer on my paper, the ink wasn't diluted enough, so it was like a very thick inky layer on top of my paper. Yeah, so I tried to color over it with pencil and I couldn't because of that very thick inky layer. And that kind of ruined the fun of this page for me. And, well, the page in general. Basically, it ruined the page in general for me. And so for the longest time, I just put it aside because I didn't want to color it anymore. And in July, I decided to finish this page up just to be done with it, basically. Because I have this nasty habit of if I start a page in a book, if I have a WIP in a book, I cannot color another page. So this is the only page I colored in this book because of this long-time WIP. I cannot start another page. So, and I do want to color other pages in this book. So I finished it just for the sake of finishing it. And as you can see, it's a very, very simple job. Just color the rest of like the little birds and everything with some Pitt pens. Put some, in some cases, some Chroma Flow on top. And of course my sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir. And that's it, and right now, this page, I'm so sick and tired of this page. Yeah, it's done, and I can color something else in this book because it is a cute book and it deserves to be colored in more. Then we go into August, and let me flip the page. Hold on. So, And the first thing that I colored in August, I really got my coloring mojo back, and I decided that I would do some untouched books. And I have been doing that ever since August, basically. I've been coloring a lot in untouched books. That's definitely a project at the moment, coloring in as much uncolored books as I can, because I do have quite some uncolored books. So, yeah, and I like to get rid of those. Um, so, this is the page that I picked. Um, and what did I use? I used my neon colors too for the green background over here. I used oil pastels for the yellow background. I used my Pablos from Caran d'Ache. I used some adding markers for the gold, the ornaments you see in the corners. And some golden super markers. And where did I use that? Oh, no. I already remembered. The black is a black adding marker, paint marker. And these are these. Yes, these are the golden super markers that I used. So it's very shiny, as you can see. And I do like the color combination in this book. I do really like this page and how it ended up. I love my blue butterflies. And yeah, it's definitely an okay page for like a first page. So that's Wald und Natur by Rehan Udashi. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm so sorry. Rehan. We're just gonna call you Rehan. Then I started coloring in Joshua Dunbar. Yeah. And I did this page in the beginning. And I know it says Halloween Cuties. I know. And I know we're only in August. But, it's just a cute book. So I love to color in this book. And I did this page. The Witch in the Crystal Ball. And I really like how it ended up. I will zoom you in a little bit because it's such a small book. Let me zoom you in a bit. A little bit like that. Sure. Yeah, so what did I use for this page? I used alcohol markers, of course. Yeah. And my super golden markers on the nails. So the green nails. And some sparkle pens by Spectrum Noir. I'm looking. Oh yeah, on the eyes. I did that on the eyes. And I also used some adding paint markers for the gold and the silver on the rings and over here. Yeah, and I do really like the end result. I really like my candles. And I love her purple hair. So, yeah, it's a cute page, definitely. So, that's Halloween Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. And then I colored in another uncolored book. Let me zoom you out again. So, in another uncolored book, and that's by Barbara Lanza, Fairy World. And it's a beautiful book, but I hadn't colored in it before August. And I did this one. And I have very mixed feelings about this one. Because I do like what I did with it, but I do not like the color choices that I made. It's too much yellow on one page. So the flowers are yellow. Her hair is blonde, yellow. And of course, there's a lot of yellow in her wings. So we have like yellow, yellow, yellow. So that's something I do not like, and I wish I made some different choices. I wish that I gave her hair a different color, like a nice dark brown, or maybe even like a ginger color or something like that. But I didn't. I made her a blonde, and the end results are okay. I really like the wings, where I also put like um, purples and pinks and greens, swooshes basically in the wings, and I really like that. I don't know if you guys can like really like see that. I also put some sparkle pen again on the wings to make it sparkle a little bit, but I don't think that you guys can see that. And the rest is all colored with my Pablo pencils. So yeah, I do like the end results. I mean, it's an okay page, definitely. And yeah, at least a page is colored. A page is colored. So that's Fairy World by Barbara Lanza. And the last page I did in August was also an uncolored book by Hannah Carlson, Sitting Among the Stars. This was a book that I wanted to color in for a very long time, and for some reason I just did not have the inspiration. But I finally found a page that I had some inspiration for, and it's this one. Yeah, I absolutely love this page. I love the color palette that I chose for it. So this page is done with watercolors and the Albrecht Dürer, which is a watercolor pencil. So, and a little bit of metallic, metallic watercolors actually. Yeah, I used metallic watercolors. And I absolutely love the palette. So I have this like little set of vintage watercolors. So it's a vintage palette basically, and it contains like this color and some like very old pinks and some really nice like pale greens and some rusty colors and that kind of stuff. You can do some really cool stuff with this very small palette that I have. And I really wanted to use it because I had not used it before. And then I saw this air balloon, and I was like, you know what? Let's use this palette on this balloon. And I absolutely adore the color palette on itself. I absolutely adore it. So yeah, the balloon itself. So this that's all watercolor. And the bows and ribbons and everything that you see, that's first I did a base layer of watercolor, and then for the shadow work I used my Albrecht Dürer. And yeah, except for some metallic paints, that's it. That's all I used. And for the background I used a granulating watercolor paint with some metallic paints on top of it, so you can see it shine if I move it around. But yeah, I absolutely love this page. I do think that this is like the favorite of August. Absolutely. So yeah, that's Tales from the City Among the Stars by Hannah Carlson. And then we go into September. And I started off the month with a very simple page in 50 Woodland Miniatures. And I need to have, let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. Yes, here it is. And I did this page, the beavers that are painting a mushroom, alcohol markers, some white gel pen. That's it. And this really just got me started for the month September, just to get into that flow. So yeah, I do like it. So after that, I did another page. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, so I need to find this book because I colored another page in Fadorables. So, and this time I colored this centaur with some autumn leaves, and ginger hair. And if you go and have a look at the background, you will see that suddenly we have a different blue than we have over here. That's because my marker ran out and I had to use another light blue color, but of course it's not the same. So it's a little bit more dark over here. But it's an okay page. Nothing special. Yeah, so the only thing that I really used on this page are alcohol markers, my Ohuhu alcohol markers, and for the border I used a gel pen, a glitter gel pen, and that's it. Yeah, simple page again, nothing special. So that's the Fadorables by Selena Vanich again. Then I picked another uncolored book. And I chose Fairy Miracles by Clara Markova. It's a pretty book, but it can also be a very intimidating book because of all of the detail. Her pages are extremely busy, like extremely busy. You have a lot of color, but I thought it was time that I started a page in this book because I already have this book. I bought this book in December 2024, so I really needed to color something in it. And I picked this one, the rose page, and I did the entire page with Prisma pencils and some adding paint markers over here, and the background is some watercolors that I used for the background, and that's it. I didn't use anything else, and yeah, I really like how it turned out. I really like my dewdrops, and the little house over here. And I didn't want to make it like an overly bright page. I don't really like extremely bright colors, so usually I don't really use extremely bright colors. But I do like that. And my ladybugs are yellow, and that's because of the red rose, so when I wanted to color them red, I was like, oh, then my ladybug disappears. I don't want that, so I made them yellow. And yeah, nice page. And I'm really, really glad that I colored something in Fairy Miracles by Clara Markova. Then I colored another uncolored book, even though I bought this book actually in September, so the fact that it was still uncolored, well, of course, but it was the end of September. We were heading towards October, so I thought, you know what, let's do a Halloweeny page. And this book, by the way, is by Cute and Magical Coloring Book by Alexandra Francis. It's the travel size one. I did the werewolf, and I used my Pitt pens actually, and I absolutely hated the end results. When I was done with my Pitt pens, it was so extremely streaky. So I thought, how can I fix this page? And what I did is I went on top with my oil pastels, and I really like the results of those oil pastels. So like all of the dark blue that you see here, and I also used like lighter blue on the sky. I went over with oil pastels, and the streakiness is, well, you can still see it, but it's definitely not as bad as it was. And I did the exact same thing on the werewolf, where I used my oil pastels for the shading, and the vest is done with oil pastels, his pants, and then I also use some adding golden marker, just to add a little bit of shine. And that's it. It's a very simple page, and it's definitely a ruined page. But it's okay. Now I do like the shading that I've done with the oil pastels. So that's Alexandra Francis with Cute and Magical Coloring Book. And then we go into October. And October, I colored a lot. I colored 10 pages, and that's a lot for me. Like a lot. So the first book that I started in was in Woodland Wonderland by Rachel Reinert. And this is such a wonderful book. And it was a non-colored book. I haven't colored a page in it yet. So I decided that needed to change. And I also found out at that time that Derwent came out with new colors for the Derwent drawings. And I have the 24 set, and I was like thinking, do I want to have those new colors that they're coming out with? The answer is yes, but just to make sure that I wasn't buying something that I really didn't need, I decided to color this page with the Derwent drawings, the 24 set. So this is everything that you see here are the Derwent drawings pencils. And as you can see, I really like my mushrooms, and especially like the different colors of reds that you can find on yellows in that set. It's perfect for these kind of mushrooms, and the same for the stems, of the mushrooms. The greens, however, are a little bit more towards the grayish side, and of course, I do know that they are dulled down colors. They're based on nature's palette, basically. I do understand that. But still, also in nature you can find some brighter greens than only these very dulled down greens. So, and I knew that in the new set you have some brighter greens than the gray ones that we have in the 24 set. So that basically made me decide to buy the new colors. But I do like this page. I do like how it ended up. And you can create something absolutely gorgeous with just 24 pencils. I do want to stress that. You can. But yeah, it's a gorgeous pencil. And I really like the end results. So yeah, that's Woodland Wonderland by Rachel Reinert. Then I colored a page in the Elder Futhark coloring book. the Nordic runes. Now, this one does not have an illustrator anywhere in the book, so I have no idea who made this book. But this is the page that I colored, Urus. This rune means strength, basically, and not just physical strength, but also mental strength, willpower. Yeah, for some reason I was really drawn to this rune to color this one. And again, kept it very simple. We see alcohol markers, metallic pens from Spectrum Noir, and they are not shiny at all. They're very matte, so I do not really like them that much. This is also the reason why I don't color that much with them. And I used my sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir again. And yeah, and that's it. Very simple page. Not a very interesting page for most people, but oh well. So the Elder Futhark. Then I colored in a new book. I bought this book in September. Petite Sorceries by Jean-Luc Guérin. Now, as you can see, it's taped together here, and that's because when it arrived, it had this cut right over the book cover. And it wasn't like all the way through, but still, I decided to tape it together, and I'm a little bit bummed out that it was damaged like that. But on the other hand, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. The inside is okay, so I decided to keep it anyways. So this is the page that I colored, a nice Halloween page, and I did this page with my golden super markers on the back, the letters Halloween, and the pencil work is done with my Color Softs by Derwent. And I used, of course, my sparkle pens from Spectrum Noir and some adding metallic pens over here. So yeah, it is shiny a bit, this page, not overly shiny. And the background I did with a black pink pen, and I really like how it came out, this page. I really like the color combination, and yeah, love my pumpkin. So yeah, I really like this page, and it's a fun book. I will make a flip through of this book because I haven't seen it that much, but it really is like a fun book, where there really is like a story going on the page, and I really like that. So, and it's all about witches. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I will make a proper flip through of this book. So that's Petite Sorcery by, I will look up his name again. Jean-Luc Guérin. So yeah. Then I colored another page. No, not another page. I colored a page in another uncolored book. That's what I wanted to say. It's Harry Potter, Watercolor Magic, and in this book you can actually learn how to use watercolors because, let me show you. So I colored this one, the Sorting Hat, and here in the back of this book we have the drawings of different kinds of Harry Potter kind of stuff, So I decided to color Sorting Hat, and then in the front of the book we have the tutorials how to color these kind of images. So And this one is, you can see the difficulty over here in the corner, right over here. And if you have only one lightning bolt, it's easy. 2, it's medium. 3, a little bit more difficult. 4, it's difficult. Now it really is like that. And they will show you step by step how to paint. And that's exactly what I did. And I really like the end results. So the only thing that I use on this page is watercolor, and that's it. And you really can see that if you use watercolor correctly and layer it correctly, you can get some really cool results, I think. The only thing I do not like about this page is that when I was finished, I splattered some paint right over here, and now I have this ugly stain. But oh well, it is what it is. But it's a really cool book if you want to learn how to work with watercolor. So yeah, Harry Potter Watercolor Magic. Then I decided to do a page in Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. And I wasn't done with my watercolors. So I decided to do an entire page with my Faber-Castell's Albrecht Dürer. So everything that you see here is basically watercolor, because that's what an Albrecht Dürer is. It's a watercolor pencil. And I'm insanely proud of this page. I absolutely adore it. I'm really proud of my copper pens and the lightning, let me see. I also used a little bit of gel pen, some glitter gel pen for some spark. I don't know if you can see it. And I used some metallic pens on the cabinet here. And some white gel pen on the little pots and everything in the cabinet. And that's it. The rest is all Albrecht Dürer. So, yeah, really proud of this page. Really proud of this page. So that's Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. Then I did a page in Whimsical World Big Book, also an uncolored book of mine, and I decided to do a page in it, and I did in this page, again, very simple. Alcohol markers. I used some gouache for the moon, so that the moon becomes nice and shiny. And some metallic pens for the gold. And I did use some sparkle pens again from Spectrum Noir to add a little bit of shine. And that's basically it. Oh yeah, for the background I used a paint pen, a cheap paint pen. Yeah, that's it. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but we do have some scratches up here in the moon, and that's from my cat. I have 2 cats, and one of my cats liked to lay down or sit on my coloring books. And apparently he got startled by something, and he ran off. And in that process, he damaged my book. So, well, again, it's an Amazon book. I'm not precious about it. I can laugh about it, Yeah, that stuff happens when you have cats, it does. So, yeah, Whimsical World Big Book, coloring book by Molly Harrison. Then I decided to finish up a whip. This whip, in Fairy Tales and Folklore, by the way, by Emily Lida Hall Uberg, I believe you call it like, or Oberg, something like that. So I decided to color this page, to finish this page. I started this page back in April, and I had very clear vision because for me this was the goddess Idun, the Norse goddess Idun, and she protects the golden apples that provide youth, life, eternal life, basically. Um, and she had, well, the apples are of course gold, but also her hair. Her hair is also golden. So that's exactly what I did. I colored my apples, I colored her hair, and then I was like, okay, I have no idea what to do with my flowers. I had no idea what to do with the dress she was wearing, and what to do with the background. No idea. So I stopped for a little while, and well, I decided to finish this page because it wasn't that much that I needed to color. Um, so eventually, I decided to color my flowers pink and to keep her dress pretty neutral. I do like it, the end results. So what did I use for this page? I used my polychromos. I used some adding metallic pens again and some watercolor for the background. And that's it. Yeah, most of it is just pencil work. And yeah, I do like the end result. The only thing I do not like is her skin because I do think that it's uh, like it looks a little bit dirty. Like she could really use a shower or something like that. So I don't like her skin, but the rest, yeah, I do really like my apples. Yeah, they do really look like golden apples. So I do like that. So yeah, that's Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liederho Huberg. I probably pronounced her name completely the wrong way. Uh, then I decided to finish another whip. But this whip is like, well, this whip was almost 2 years old. And I got sick and tired of it and decided that it needed to be finished. And by the way, this is a mythographic Fairy Wonderland by Fabiana Attanasio. I forgot. Um, yeah. So I decided to finish this whip, the troll lady. Um, for the longest time, I only colored her face, her hair, the branches that you see over here, and some of the greenery, and that's it. Because I did not know what to do with the portal that you see over here. I did not know what to do with the background, with the rocks that you can see over here. I was a little bit lost about it. And, for some reason, I just got, well, inspired to do this page, to finish this page. And I found this picture of like a purplish sky, with some yellow in it. And I decided to do that. So, yeah. Um, I colored this page with my polychromos again. And I used and some Albert Duras for the background over here. That's watercolor. And that's it. I didn't use, except for some metallic pens and some white gel pen, I didn't use anything else. Yeah, so um, do I like the page? Yes, actually I do. I do like the page, how it ended up. Um, and I'm definitely glad I'm done because that means I can color another page in this book. Even though, there are a lot of pages in this book actually that don't really inspire me at the moment, but oh well, we will see. Then I also call it in Gnome, Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodrich. And I decided to do this page. This page is done with alcohol markers, polychromos on top, a little bit of white gel pen, the apples, oh yeah, and some paint pens for the flowers on our hat, and that's it. So, and I absolutely like it the way it ended up. The only thing I do not like is the pumpkin that I colored over here, because I tried to do some shadow work with my alcohol markers, but I don't like it. Let's just leave it at that. I don't like the effect of that. So that's the reason why the other pumpkins look differently. um, but the rest, yeah, I do like this page and how it ended up. You know, and by the way, this book is absolutely adorable. I love her gnomes. So, yeah. So that's Gnome Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodrich. And the very last page that I colored in October was this one. In Boule de Bois by Diane Dufour. So, very simple page. And I did this one with my neon colors too for the background. And the dog and the leaves are colored with my Inktense because I don't use them that much. So I decided that I would use them in this book. You know, the paper is absolutely excellent for it. And then I was done and I thought, well, this is like a bit boring, this page. So I decided to also put some stencil work in the background. And well, it's a bit better. I still think it's a bit boring, this page. Then again, you know, it is a simple page. So I do like, you know, these leaves. The Inktense have some absolute wonderful colors. Absolute wonderful colors, you know, for autumn pages. So yeah, that's the last page that I did in October. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I will see you back in my next video. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next video.